the autofocus is amazing, and that's what I like about the newer mirrorless cameras is the ability to shoot with a low aperture, which is like it's hard to do with manual focus because the depth of field is so thin.
Okay, so what are
Photographers
you
know what
doing
that
with
means.
what are we doing with
Uh,
low
Depth
aperture?
of field is the sliver of area that is in focus. So when you see a picture and there's a blurry background,
Hmm.
that's what you're seeing an example of what a shallow depth of field looks like. So
Ah, okay, I can understand that.
if you see a picture where everything is focused, from like a landscape picture,
Yep.
typically those are small aperture photos because everything's in focus.
Okay.
How this happens optically, I don't know exactly. It just does, but there's an aperture inside the camera lens that opens and closes.
Okay.
And I can send you a picture, an example of one of those if you want.
Yeah, sure. I'll pull it
But
up on the screen.
I'll shoot it. I'll shoot it over to you.
Yeah.
But that determines what's in focus. Basically,
Okay.
is it? There's a way that happens, but pretty much that's it. So what it does in practice is you can shoot with these really fast lenses now, and you can get like the eye in focus. So when you're doing portraits, and
Right. Right.
this
Right.
was the thing before, where with the regular autofocus system 5, 10 years ago, you were taking multiple shots, hoping that you got close or bang on, and a lot of times with the really shallow depth of field, you would miss the eye. You might catch the nose, you might catch the ear. And it's
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's
So it
that it's
accidentally gets a different point of focus.
yeah. And because the plane of focus is so thin and you're doing a portrait, so you may be 10 feet away from the person, but what is actually in sharp focus is so slim that now these mirrorless cameras and their autofocus systems will lock onto the eye, the closest eye, not even the wrong eye. It'll lock onto the closest eye, and it will get perfect focus almost every time. So the picture that you have up
There we go.
now is a film camera that I have. That's a film camera from the 80s with a 85 millimeter 1.2 lens, the Canon L lens of that era, and the aperture is closed down. So there's little blades in there, open and close. So that hole is either small or bigger. It
Oh,
will
okay.
open up completely to let all the light in. But basically, what you're seeing, and you can see now that the stars and stripes in the background are blurred out, but that aperture blade's in focus, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of what I mean is that's a shallow depth of field, which means you got to be very selective about what you have in focus
Okay,
because
okay.
obviously that draws your eye in,
Well,
right?
that's really cool to see. Like, I imagine this took a bit of patience to get this photo.
Yeah, I had to definitely took me about 5 seconds to line everything up and
Yeah,
frame it right because I have the flag in the background and the camera lens there and
yeah,
the lights reflecting from my overhead light and you can see the aperture blades clearly and stuff. So there, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, but that's kind of what the aperture does. It'll open and close, and it
yeah.
lets more or less light in. But also a byproduct of that is the other areas outside of what's in focus is either more or less blurry.
Okay, okay.
So the way the aperture is there that you can see, that's more like f/22, f/16,
Yeah.
something like that.
Was
And you
it
could take a landscape shot and everything's in focus
is
from foreground to background.